with his friend. Who's Chuck? I don't know. Chuck? I don't know who that is. Well, let's go find out. All right. Hey, hold on here. Let's see. Let's get off this stupid looking hat I have here and find out what's going on here. Here we go. There he is. Get off my leghorn hat. How you doing there, Chuck?
Hey, man, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing all right. I didn't want to say your name or anything. I don't know if you let your last name out or not.
I do. Yeah, that's totally cool. I'm not a
Okay.
hard guy to find.
All right, yeah. So it's Chuck Lewis, and his wife's name is Sandra Lewis, and she's still out working in the fields right now. And I didn't know if you're going to be on or not, so I had both your names on there and so forth. They run Sheraton Park Farms in Grady, North Carolina, and you're homesteaders, correct?
That that opens up a whole can of worms. Are we homesteaders or are we farmers? We consider ourselves farmers because we do run a production farm where we sell a lot of product off of the farm. But I'm totally cool with the label homesteader.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if you were considered farmers or homesteaders or whatever. I mean, to me, you look like farmers with.
That's interesting. That's a real source of contention among some farmers and homesteaders of what you call them. And, I think if you're trying to be self-sustainable and grow food on your land, and I don't care whether you're being called a farmer or a homesteader, man, just as long as you're out there doing something.
Yeah. I know you follow a lot of people I follow, like Joel and so forth. And in fact, I just watched your video yesterday again on the chicken tractor.
Okay.
And he talked about John Suskovich's tractor and Joel Salatin's tractor, and because I need to build a fourth coop, and I can't bend over, I can't get on my knees and get up and down real easily anymore, and I'm like, that coop is foolish for me to have.
Yeah, we built so we for years we've been running the Suskovich style, which is 6x12 with the arched roof, using some electrical conduit and then a tarp. And then I got the book. I don't have it here in front of me. The book Polyface Designs, which is a book that Salatin had come out with a couple of years ago, that has very detailed plans for all of the different pieces of infrastructure that he runs. So now, okay, I've got a set of plans for this Salatin style, and I thought, man, it's been all the rage. It's kind of the model. That's what this whole pastured poultry thing has sort of been built off of. I'm going to build me some of those, and we're going to give them a try. And I want, like I say in the video, man, I wanted to love it. I really wanted to love it, but I just can't. It's not my cup of tea. We've done these Suskovich style for so long, and I've gotten so used to them. It's kind of hard to teach an old dog new tricks, I guess. But I think if you're over about the age of 28 or 30, the Suskovich is probably the way you want to go. Man, I can't get down. My knees don't work anymore. It just, doesn't work.
Either. I know. And Bailey, my service dog that you saw a while ago, she's getting a new harness that allows me to push down on it to help get up off the floor.
Okay.
It disperses the weight on her back and her back hind legs and everything. And so she has a handle on her harness that I can pull myself up out of a chair with because my legs fall asleep real easily. I've got severely poor circulation on both legs and lots of nerve damage. But that's really hard to get up and down on your knees. I know.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, it's and another thing on the Suskovich, as I'm backing up and as I'm moving those things, excuse me, I can see the birds. I can see what's happening in that Salatin. You can see about the front, based on your angle where you're standing. You can see about the front third of it, and you can't see what's going on in the back. And it's real easy to run over birds as you're moving them forward. And I wanted to love it, man. I wanted to love it, but I couldn't.
I understand. Yeah. So I have a friend of mine I just recently told something about. I've had a man calling me for about 5 months now, claiming to be Joel Salatin.
Really?
Yeah, claiming to be him and claiming to know all this and wanting to help me out because I'm a veteran and this and that. And I started looking into him and come find out it's a guy's a fraud, and he's been telling a lot of people this.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've actually sent an email to the Polyface Farm to let them know about it, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet. But because the guy's number has been disconnected and so forth. But yeah, I was like,
That's crazy.
And the thing is, though, he sent me some merchandise off Amazon.
No kidding.
Yeah, he sent me the Chinese version of the red nipples made by little red nipples. I forgot the name of the company that makes them. They're real good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Chinese knockoff version of it that Amazon sells. Well, he sent me the Amazon version that are junk.
Right.
And the other ones are better, and I can't remember the name of them, but I always like testing out different products and so forth all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if anyone wonder how I know Chuck, it's because Chuck has a YouTube channel and it's Sheraton Park Farms, and I got the link to it on the bottom going across the bottom of the screen, and he's just one of the shows I love watching. He and Sandra, they're just great people, down to earth, and they've got a great farm, great setup. I love the way it's set up and so forth. I just love y'all's show, and I just fallen in love with watching it, And now I've gotten to the point I'm playing the reruns for that I haven't seen. It's like watching the series on what's that series? Jack Ryan series. I just finished watching the Jack Ryan series. Now I'm watching the Chuck Lewis series. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you watching. That whole YouTube thing, man, that really kind of blossomed into something that we never expected. When we first started farming, in order to kind of pay for this thing, we decided to do some farmers markets. And after about, we'd been doing markets, I guess, for, year and a half. And we were starting to get a bunch of questions about how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you raise your animals? And that sort of thing. And I was kind of a YouTube fan myself. I watched a lot of different channels, and I thought, well, I think I'll do a couple of videos, and then when customers come up and they say, how do you do this thing, that thing, or the other, I can hand them a card. So here, we've got a few videos out there on YouTube. Go over and watch, and you can see exactly how we do that sort of thing. Well, I done one video and kind of, thought, well, this is sort of interesting. And so then I thought, well, I'll do another. I was just trying to kind of learn the craft, and started getting a little bit of traction, in the YouTube world to become monetized, where they send you a little check every month for the ad revenue. You have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And I thought, well, let's just set that as a goal and see if we can do it. Well, here I am. I've been doing YouTube for 3.5 years now. I've got 450 some videos, almost 58,000 subscribers, 7.5 million views on the channel, and it just kind of blossomed into something that I just never imagined it would do. And it's been a ton of fun, and we've just met so many nice people. I get so many customers coming up to us at farmers markets now, and they say, hey, we drove 2 hours to this farmers market because we saw you on YouTube. We wanted to come buy something off of you. And we've just met the nicest folks, and it's been a real joy to do. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'd love to try your hot dogs if you want,
The hot dog, man, I sold out of this thing on hot dogs. The problem with the hot dog is my processor. If I take one pig, or if I take 15 pigs, they will do one 50-pound batch of hot dogs for us, and that's it. So I can only get 50 pounds of hot dogs at a time. And man, they're hugely popular. So we sell out of hot dogs just super fast.
That's funny. That is really funny. I've been doing markets for many, many years. I selling knives, selling my leather goods, and selling coffee. Yeah. And I love doing the markets. I really do. I don't do them during the summer months in Texas because it's too hot. But I'm starting up. September the 9th will be my first market. In fact, I got to post that up real quick. Let me bring this up. Where's this picture at? I'll be in Waxahachie, Texas, at the Ellis County Poultry Show. Come on, there we go. And it just came up there. Biggest chicken event in Texas. This event is huge. I'm really looking forward to going. You remember the show with Kevin Costner, If You Build It, They'll Come?
Yeah. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Remember when they showed all the traffic of cars going to it?
Mm-hmm.
Here is a line of traffic leading up to this event. I don't know if you can see that road, but that's a drone footage from last event.
That's the service road off of the interstate, it looks like.
Right, it is.
Yeah, wow.
Leading up to this facility, and I'm like, oh my God.
No kidding. So is it like a big flock swap kind of thing, or is it a show?
It is. It's just it's a sale and a bunch of vendors. I'll be a vendor selling coffee, and we're going to do a podcast here.
Nice.
So for many years, I was involved with the Harris County Fair. I'm in the Harris County area here in Texas, which contains Houston, the fourth largest city here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with the Harris County Fair for many years as a volunteer. I really enjoyed doing it, and I volunteered with the big Houston rodeo as well. But the Harris County Fair kind of came to an end when the facility kept flooding, because the facility was located at the Army Corps of Engineers land, where it was used for flood control. So now they're holding it at another facility on the east side of Harris County, and it's run by a whole new bunch of people and so forth. But I miss doing the poultry shows and so forth. So I'm actually going to have a poultry show here, actually across the street from me at a facility that's 23-acre facility. It's going to be a poultry show and sale and farmers market October 21st.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So just to, get back into it. I really do enjoy it. I enjoy doing events like that. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So, y'all do markets every weekend, don't you?
Yeah. So we do, right now we're doing 4 markets a week. We do 3 on Saturday. Sandra goes to one at 8:30 in the morning. I go to one at 8:30 in the morning. Mine ends at 11:30. I leave there and go directly to another market, which is about 15 minutes from my first. So that's the 3 that we do on Saturdays. And then she does another market on Tuesdays. And that's what she's doing right now, is getting ready for her market for tomorrow. So, and it's in a college town. It's in Boone, North Carolina, the home of Appalachian State University. So there's a lot of folks up there that really appreciate locally grown, ethically grown, sort of that organic kind of atmosphere. And so we do really well up there. And then that market, actually, that's the only one. It's in the mountains of North Carolina, where the weather is the worst in the wintertime, and there they have a wintertime market. So we go up there all year long. That's our year-long market up there.
Wow. So I heard they were shooting in North Carolina at a university today. Yeah,
so I was seeing some stuff on that. So University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, central part of the state, about 2 hours away from us. Apparently they had a shooting down there, and a professor or some faculty member was killed down there. I think they did catch the perpetrator. So that was the last word that I had heard.
I got to tell you, I got to be honest with you. I thought for sure you'd cancel on me tonight.
Oh yeah,
and the reason why I have the worst luck with guests, and it's based on actual things happening.
Really?
And I knew you were first responder related.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, oh crap! I bet you Chuck's gonna be at that, have something to do with that shooting tonight.
Yeah, no. So I'm in the clear on that, but we're getting some crummy weather right now. There's a hurricane off the coast of Florida that's kind of set to come up and clip the southeastern corner of North Carolina later in the week, and so some of the guys that I work with have already been deployed down there to around the Wilmington, North Carolina area along the beach. So they're already down there kind of getting set up for some storm surge and evacuations and some of that kind of thing. So I'm good today. As the week progresses, I may get put somewhere, but for right now we're good to go. We're pretty solid.
I'd love to get some of that rain. I haven't gotten any rain in over 43 days now.
You're kidding. Oh man.
No, And the thing is, my well's on an aquifer that's out of the hill country of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And all through all that whole route going there has been no rain.
Oh, wow.
So that aquifer is getting low. And I can tell every evening, I can't even water my grass in the evening anymore. Because I have it set up where I can move all my chicken tractors on nice fresh green grass.
Right.
And I don't have chicken tractors. I have larger coops that I can move.
Mm-hmm.
And then my largest coop, which is stationary, that had the video on, I have chicken tunnels attached to it, and I can move those chicken tunnels around.
Oh, yeah.
So they're always on fresh grass.
Yeah.
And then I have to, I've been watering that grass every night, but now I can't water the grass anymore.
So does your aquifer kind of build up, and then, you use any, and then it just and then it just sort of stops? You just run out of water?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just not enough pressure to fill up your tanks.
Wow. What's y'all's annual rainfall out there?
Normally it's pretty good because I'm so close to Houston.
Yeah.
I'm only 30 minutes outside of Houston.
So you're kind of coastal. Sort of coastal plain, I guess.
Yeah. So it's just extremely dry.
Wow.
Yeah. So I volunteer with the Harris County Hospital District, and that's because I'm still within Harris County. If I left Harris County, which I'd love to do someday, I wouldn't be able to do that volunteering anymore. Yeah. So we're actually building the busiest hospital, busiest emergency room in Texas as part of our hospital district.
Okay.
And it's a county hospital, and it's the busiest in Texas, and it's one of the best. So, and I've actually gone through the system before, and they saved my life.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I volunteer for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I've had numerous infections in my legs over the years, and I got one really bad one. Blood pressure was 61/59.
Oh, wow.
Fever in my head was 102. The fever in my leg was 104. And it looked like my leg swallowed a watermelon.
Oh, man, you were septic.
Yeah, yeah. I had a MRSA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was bad stuff.
That is bad stuff. That's bad stuff.
So, and last year I was hospitalized 4 times for infections.
Daggone, man.
Because of my legs. Yeah, my legs are a mess.
Yeah.
Years ago, they said, "Oh, we ought to take off your legs." And I said, "No, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to fight this. I'm not going to let you take my legs." I should have let them take my legs. I should have, because now they don't want to do it because they're afraid it won't heal.
Yeah.
So now I have to suffer.
Man.
Oh, I know.
So I'm so sorry.
I like to keep busy and do stuff like this, and get my mind off of things. I like to volunteer and I build these Patriot knives and so forth, like I was talking about earlier. And I like to donate them, and they help raise money. They've raised over $350,000 for veterans and first responders. Nice. Yeah. So, but yeah, I love doing that kind of stuff. So, oh yeah, yeah. But I've been doing like video shorts on YouTube.
So yeah, you got a bunch of shorts kind of in your catalog there.
Yeah, and I looked to see which ones really do the best, and I did one on my leather work one day, and that thing blew up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to start doing more in leather work on there too.
Yeah, we've kind of experimented with some shorts, and I don't know how that algorithm piece works, and so I'll put one out and it'll do really well, and then I'll put one out and it's nothing. So I don't understand them. I just don't do very well with them.
It's the wording.
Yeah,
it's the wording, and then like with the podcast, it's your damn thumbnail.
No kidding.
If you don't have a good thumbnail, you don't do well.
Huh, that's interesting.
And I've been creating thumbnails for all my old ones,
Yeah.
And they're picking up, and they're picking up, and they're picking up. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But it all has to do with the damn thumbnail.
Yeah, in the long form world of YouTube, it's sort of a combination of the thumbnail and the title. Yeah, and what we've kind of discovered is there's really kind of you have to sort of build this marriage between the two. Mm-hmm. The thumbnail kind of, people are scrolling through, they see this picture that kind of grabs their attention, and then they go to look at the title. Okay, well, you really kind of want that thumbnail to direct them to the title, and then the title to create enough curiosity in their mind that they want to watch the video. So that's sort of the lock and key on that to get the views over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did one here. I'm gonna grab this camera real quick and I'll bring it up real quick. That's easier than trying to share it and click on it and bring it back up and so forth. But let me do this real quick. I was talking about the heat in Texas and all the fire danger in Texas. Yeah. So I did this one: wildfires, evacuate now. Mm-hmm. And boom, it's blowing up.
Yeah. And so you're kind of playing on, and that's something that I've kind of discovered too. Is sometimes if you can play on some current event stuff, that will help generate some clicks and generate some interest. And I think the whole deal in Maui right now is probably helping to drive that too.
Yeah, yeah. We got our share of forest fires here in Texas right now because of the drought. I've got friends that are firefighters fighting it and so forth. But that whole podcast was talking about evacuating your chicken farms and what you're going to need to evacuate.
Yeah.
And people are talking about it on social media, and I watched to see what they talk about. They said, "Oh my God, I need to buy a truck. I never thought about it. I own 70 chickens. How am I going to move my 70 chickens?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So people are thinking about it now. So it's a good thing. And that's what I like is, I don't know. I always tell people I'm no chicken expert, but I'm learning.
Right.
And so, what I try to learn is I like to share it with people. I do have a man that comes on once a month named Howard Davenport. He travels all over the country judging. He's a well-known poultry judge. But as a child, he worked for a vet as a vet tech, and he learned from a vet, an old school vet that worked on everything. And Howard was doing spaying and neutering and pulling calves and performing surgery on chickens and turkeys. Well, he does it for free. He travels all over Texas doing this. And he has an organization, he and another gal, Marissa Weaver, they have Lone Star Chicken Care. And they talk and they go over and repair people's chickens at no for free and so forth. They do it for donations and everything. It's a charity. But he comes on once a month. The guy has such a raft of knowledge of poultry, it's unbelievable. So how many chickens you have right now?
Well, that's a great question. So I've got an egg mobile out here that we probably have roosters and hens all together. There's probably, 150 or so there. I've got 76 brand new chicks in the brooder that we got on Friday. Those are egg layers that we're going to be replacing our big group with out in the field. I have about, there's probably about 500 meat chickens, broilers here right now. Wow. And then we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 150, 175 turkeys. So that's that's our poultry profile, right? And then I've got, I think there's 8 Chinese geese. So that's our poultry profile right now.
And the geese are for guards, right?
Yeah, those are just guard animals, and they're in with the turkeys. We had 2 Chinese geese, and we had a male and a female, and Sandra gave the female to the folks that run our processing plant for our pork and beef. And then we had the male left, and he stayed with the chickens forever, and he just kind of disappeared one day. We don't know what happened to him. And so we bought these Chinese back. They were the gray and black. So we bought these back, and they're the white ones, and they're just guard animals. They stay in with the poultry. They're really good for aerial predators.
Yeah,
they see something flying over, they start honking and squealing and making all kinds of noise and sending out the warning signal, and they do a really good job.
That's good. That's good. I have a bunch of those pinwheels, those shiny ones. Where my chickens free range at, I have those, and they seem to work.
Yeah.
And then I've also added 2 black Jersey Giants to my flock. Because I heard they say they look like crows and they don't mess with them.
Yeah. How is that working out? Does that help? We tried some black Australorps one time, and I couldn't tell if it helped or not.
I can't. I haven't lost any chickens to aerial prey.
Yeah. Good.
But what's awesome is that dang Premier 1 netting.
Yeah.
I've got a coyote. Juvenile coyote trying to get in the net one day. I popped in, I walked out the door, and it was over there barking and yelping at it. Every time I got shocked, and I took him to the train station. And then I got 2 coons that were stuck in it. Yeah, that were getting shocked, and I took them to the train station. And then I got a juvenile fox I've shot at 4 times now. I haven't gotten yet, but I'm working on them.
So we were having some issues with something trying to dig in under our Suscovich tractors a couple weeks ago. And so we never could figure out what that was. We set out some live traps, and we never could catch anything. And so what we done was we kind of brought all those Suscovich tractors in together really, really close. They're lined up, so they're all kind of coordinated. And then we just took a piece of that poultry netting, it's not electrified. We just put it up around the back and around the front. So the 2 ends of the 2 end tractors are one side of the 2 end tractors are exposed. And we've not had any more problems since we put those up. So, and it's not electrified. So I don't know if it was a deterrent because they just couldn't get to the tractor or what it was, but that poultry netting from Premier 1, that's good stuff.
It is, really is. It really is. So I bought, on Amazon, they had these light bulbs that are cameras. They have night vision. They got speakers in them. The picture's unbelievable. Well, I always play it back the next day to see if I had any predators or visitors overnight.
Right.
And the other day I got hit at 12:30 at night, but there wasn't any video, but you can clearly hear the yelping and barking of a juvenile fox.
Oh, wow.
And it was running into the fence and getting shocked. Yeah. And that's what it was. You can tell it was getting like and
Yeah.
it'd bark
Yeah.
at it, and it'd run into it again, and and
Yeah.
it
Slow
was that
learning.
yelp, yeah, it was hurting it. So it worked. I was laughing. I was like, God, I wish I had video of that. It would have been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. We tell people I don't put that poultry netting up to keep the chickens in. I put that up to keep the predators out, and it works. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I've got a hen that's awesome that keeps flying over it. So I clipped her wings, and I guess I didn't clip her wings well enough. She was on the other side of it today. I'm like, how the hell did you get over here? And I looked at her wing, and you can clearly see where I clipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting over it, so I don't know. But
yeah,
let me ask you, your meat chickens, you have them all year round?
So no, we're in the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah.
We're in the foothills. We're right against the mountains. And so we during the wintertime, it gets pretty cold here. And what we found is that those meat chickens really do better in the heat. They do better when it's warm because they're consuming their calories are not being consumed to keep themselves warm. So we start usually about the third week in February. We get our first chicks the third week in February, and then our goal is to have all of our poultry except for our egg birds and then the Thanksgiving turkeys, of course. We want all the poultry done by October 1.
Okay.
So we try to be done with meat chickens by October 1. And so then that last batch or those last couple of batches, we may boost the numbers up on those so that we've got a little bit of extra chicken going into the wintertime for sale. But, honestly, by Thanksgiving, we're usually out of chicken breasts, out of whole birds. We'll kind of linger with a few leg thigh quarters over winter. But, chicken is very seasonal for us.
Okay. Now, your egg layers, are they in a barn?
No, we keep our egg layers are out on pasture. We use some of that Premier One poultry netting to keep them in a circle area, and then we've got a mobile chicken coop that we move around with either the tractor or the side by side. I think that thing's it's probably 8 feet wide by 14 feet long. It's just it was an old trailer frame. I found it on Craigslist. I bought it for like $200. About burnt the hubs up, dragging that thing home. But we got it home and we stripped it down to just the frame, and then we built a coop onto that thing, and we've got nesting boxes in there. We've got a slatted floor, so it's a poop through floor. We've got 2 hanging feeders that are hold 50 pounds each. And then for water, we just use one of those plastic feed bowls from Tractor Supply with one of those little giant float valves, and we just set that out there in the middle of the field. So it eliminates any water chores for us. The chickens just drink out of it, and it just refills on its own. So that's kind of how we manage them. And then we move them ever so often. We were moving about once a week. We're not moving quite as often right now, but we move those things on a pretty regular basis. That helps keep the chickens healthy, keeps the eggs clean because they're getting out of the mud and getting out of their poo and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it just works good for us. And then we follow the cows. We've got beef cattle here, so having those chickens follow the cows, they'll scratch through those cow pies and eat out the fly larvae. Helps reduce our fly population, and it's free food for the chickens. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. Everything works together.
I don't have a fly problem out here. I have my compost pile has a black soldier fly larvae in it.
Yep, and I saw on one of your shorts you've got your kind of sludge bucket that's producing some maggots and that kind of thing.
Well, I did that, and a buddy of mine that's a medical expert came over and says, get rid of that thing.
Really?
I was like, why? He goes, man, that's oh God, what do you call it? It's a death disease. It's he goes, if it gets in your chickens, it'll kill your chickens. It'll kill your dog. It'll kill anything else. What do you call it? It's a bacteria that has to do with decaying dead animals and stuff like that. But he said get rid of it. But I did. I got rid of it. In fact, I put it in my burn bin.
Okay.
Yeah, he says just get rid of it. And this guy knows a lot about chickens. And I was like, I have a lot of respect for the guy, so I was like, yeah, I will. But he said I got rid of it. But it was a neat idea because they were loving it.
Oh, I'm sure they were. Yeah, I thought it was great. And on the surface, it certainly seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah. Because I buy the black soldier fly larvae, the dried ones, and I give them to them. They love them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know the difference between them and the mealworm. The mealworm is just protein. The black soldier fly have calcium too. Mm-hmm. But God, I can't remember what it's called. that I'll think about after we get this over with. But
oh, of course, yeah. 3 in the morning. Oh, it was such and such. Yeah.
I know. God, it's no, it has to do with, and I know about it from when I was in law enforcement too, because it's decaying dead bodies. It creates a bacteria called this is going to drive me crazy. I'm actually looking it up.
Yeah.
But it's gonna, if I know, it'll drive me crazy. Of course, it's not on here anywhere. Everything else is, but I'll think about it afterwards. I'll let you know. But no, it is, and yeah, it's oh God, what is that called? I'm looking at all the stages of decomposing bodies right now. I can't remember.
Man, hope the FBI doesn't look into your search history. Yeah.
Well, they hold on a second. If you can, let me see if you can see this or not. I'm gonna show it real quick and. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, can you see that ID right there that's hanging up?
I can see it, but I can't make it out.
Well, here, look at the plaque next to it. Can you read any of that?
No, I still can't. I can't make it out.
Okay, all right. What you to work for?
Oh.
And you said it.
Yeah. So they know. They don't care.
Yeah, no, they don't care. Yeah, but oh man, that's gonna drive me crazy. But yeah, in fact, I watched that guy Justin Rhodes, and he has one of those, and that's where I got the idea from.
Yeah. So
I sent him a message, and I told him, I said, hey, in fact, I went on this video, and I wrote it on the video that, hey, that's that decaying animals cause something bacteria. Oh man, drive me crazy. I can't remember now. But that's not good for your chickens. But he's still doing it. In fact, he had one the other day he put in.
Yeah. I think it seemed like a reasonable idea to me.
It does. It did to me as well. Until Howard said not to do it, And
yeah.
Howard said not to do it. I'm not going to do it. He knows a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a neat idea. In fact, my compost pile's got quite a few dead critters in it, And black soldier flies come out of it, and they eat all the other flies. So I'm happy with them.
Yeah.
They don't mess with me.
Yeah. And we do that. We compost, like whenever we process chickens, we'll compost our blood and the entrails and the feathers and heads and all that kind of stuff. And then we have a dead animal. I mean, I've composted calves, and we had a mama cow that we had to process here on farm. And so when the guys came out and done her, they left all the entrails and then the skin and the head and all that. And so we put it in the compost pile and just covered it up with wood chips and just keep on trucking kind of thing,
That's the same as what I do here too. I mean, our problem here in Texas right now with the heat is people's chickens dying from the heat, and I lost one to the heat the other day.
Yeah.
I like the New Hampshire chickens, like I have. Some of them, the New Hampshires just have too many feathers for Texas. It seems like my Rhode Island Reds and my Barred Rocks they seem to do a lot better with the heat than the New Hampshires do.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a picture of one of my coops here. You can see all the ventilation it has.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dang it, where's it at? Come on, open up. I don't know what's wrong with my video here. Come on.
So I see the coop that you're talking about. Open on both sides.
Yeah, you see it? I don't see it. That's weird.
Yeah. Yep. I see it. Looks like you got a roost. Looks like you got a roosting bar there on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Looks like they're are they elevated on some hardware cloth or something there?
Yeah,
too?
they are.
Okay. Yeah.
So their poop falls down to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. So they got ventilation. They got ventilation coming from everywhere. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So during the winter months, I can just cover it up with plywood, and they're good.
Yeah. Just zip. You probably got your pre-cut pieces. Just hold them up there and 4 or 5 screws, and you're off and running. Yeah, those work great.
Exactly it. And there's just a little bit of ventilation on the top, a
Mm-hmm.
little airflow through because the any kind of moisture you get on them, can affect them as well.
Yeah.
So forth. But I just got a message from a friend of mine, and he's not watching. He can't watch it right now until next week anyway. Oh well. He actually just sent me a message regarding the hatchery he's ordering from.
Mm-hmm.
I got to replace my whole stock, my whole flock.
Oh wow! How many birds do you? How many birds do you have?
I have 86.
Okay.
And I bought all new birds this year. I just recently moved back out to the country. I took care of my mom for many years. She just passed away back in December.
I'm sorry.
And it's all right. She was bedridden and miserable. She's a very active lady. She was in law enforcement as well.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote books and everything. She was an artist. So she was the last 15 months of her life. She was bedridden. It was a blessing that she's gone. And in a better place. But as soon as I moved out here, I got chickens again. Started buying chicks. So I looked around and I did some research on feed stores, who's selling the best chicks around here, and which just so happens the one down the road from me had good history, and they buy their chicks from Privets. Privets out of New Mexico.
Privets. Okay. Not familiar with them.
They won't respond to emails or phone calls or anything right now.
Okay.
Well, I kind of blame it on the increase in people wanting to buy chickens and everything this year.
Yeah.
A lot of these hatcheries they have with their contract hatcheries where they buy from. And, it's not all their own birds. It's they're buying from other little hatcheries, to fill in for them. And this one was doing that. And I guess they just weren't watching their stock well enough. And out of my 35 barred rock chickens, the 35 pullets I purchased, 12 of them were roosters.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I got rid of those. And then the rest of them, 14, were barnyard mixes. They were born as barred rock chickens of black and white. And as they grew up, they got brown hackles, and some of them look like leg bars. And what color eggs does a barred rock chicken lay? Do you know?
Brown.
Not mine. Mine lay green eggs.
Oh, no.
Yes.
So they've got some Easter egg or Americana cross in there with them.
Here's one right here. Come on. See that right there?
Yeah.
See the brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a barred rock chicken. And there's this one looks like a leg bar. That was a barred rock chick. That was a little barred rock pullet when it was born. Yeah.
Looks more like that looks more like an Americana kind of chicken or something.
Right. So they're all laying green eggs.
So I can't, man, that's crazy.
I can't breed those and sell them to someone else,
Yeah, no.
So I was going to have them all PT tested so I can sell them and everything, but I can't sell them because they're all barnyard mixes. And then I wanted some white eggs, so I bought 6 white leghorn pullets, and I got 3 hens and 3 roosters. The 3 roosters, I sold them. I got rid of them. But then one of the 3 hens was a Delaware.
Oh, man.
I'm like, really,
What?
I bought 9 Rhode Island Reds, and 4 were hens. The rest are roosters.
Mm-hmm.
That ratio's not good enough, And then to top it all off, my Easter eggers are a whole different story. I don't even going to get into it, but it just pissed me off even more. But,
so do you know anything about? And we just bought some of these, and Ancona, Ancona. So we wanted some. So out of this last group we just bought, we wanted some brown eggs, some colored eggs, and some white eggs, but we didn't want a leghorn because I've had leghorns in the past, and they're just the ones I've had are just flighty, neurotic birds. They're just crazy.
They're a-holes.
So they're what?
They're a-holes.
Yeah. So we got some of these Ancona. I don't know how you say it. Do you have any experience with those? What are those birds like?
Well, I've got them mixed with some of mine.
Okay.
And I was told that they have the and Now they could lay a colored egg, right?
They're supposed to lay whites.
They're supposed to lay white. All right, then I'm thinking of something else. Then I don't have anything experience with them. Then
Okay. Yeah. Sandra just found them. We just want, and we bought them. It's a black feathered chicken for the same reason that you had bought your black jerseys, is just try to hopefully prevent some aerial predation. So we're going to try those and see how they do. But I'll report back on those hopefully in 6 months, see what they're doing.
Well, I love Barred Rock chickens because they're so quiet and calm and cool.
Yeah.
So I bought the Barred Rocks. I bought 5 blue Plymouth Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And because you mix those with a regular Barred Rock rooster, you get the sapphire gems.
Okay.
Which are really pretty bird. Well, here we go again. I can't do anything with blue Plymouth Rock because they're also barn mixes because they got brown hackles.
Yeah.
So that's more I can't deal with though. I know. And then I bought 5 partridge rocks, which I have to say they look like purebreds. They really do. They're beautiful birds. They've got the Barred Rock look, but they're brown and black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
so now did all of these come from that hatchery in New Mexico you were talking about? Okay.
Yeah. And in talking with the owners of D&D, they sell my coffee. They're a great feed store. I was over there today. In fact, I'm making labels for them too. My new label printer I bought for my coffee. I'm doing labels for people who want them for their eggs. I'm doing labels for people's bottles of honey. I'm doing labels for D&D feed store actually repackages some of their feed, makes smaller quantities,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing labels for them. Well, D&D, they were good friends of mine, and one of the owners was just shocked over. She goes, "This has never happened to us," but she goes, "I really think it has to do with the overabundance of people wanting chickens this year."
Yeah.
Because there were lines of people in the stores waiting to get in to buy chickens.
Yeah, so here our Tractor Supply, the ones that were close around that we patronize, they were getting birds in like on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, and by lunchtime they were all gone, and people were coming in and buying everything they had, and it was just kind of a free for all. And so we had bought I think it was last year, we had bought a GQF incubator, and so we started just plucking eggs and dropping them in that incubator. We were running I think 96 a week. And, we were selling them straight run barnyard mix, no guarantee on anything. It's a chicken. I promise you it's a chicken. That was the only thing we were guaranteeing. And man, I couldn't keep them. I mean, we were selling like crazy, but then all of a sudden, boom, market dried up and we were out of the chick business. But, people were
still buying them in
panicking.
Houston. People are still buying them in Houston.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I bought 5 Wyandottes.
Mm-hmm.
Because they look like really pretty birds, and I just wanted to see what they look like. So I bought 5 varieties, and this is one of them. This is not a Wyandotte.
What is that thing? That's a funny looking head on that deal.
Well, for a long time, we called it Brittany Grinder because we didn't know whether it was a hen or a rooster or what kind of bird it was.
Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
It's big, tall, big feet.
Yeah.
We know it's a hen now, so I still call it Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna get rid of it, but I kind of fell in love with this bird now.
Yeah.
So she's in competition. If your bird is uglier than Brittany, post a picture of her. You can win a coffee mug and a bag of coffee. But,
yeah, it's an odd looking bird. It looks like it's wearing a toupee.
I know, right? And it's got a beard.
Yeah.
A bearded lady.
Yeah.
So, what color egg do you think she's laying?
I would guess that chicken was laying a colored egg of some kind, like a green or a blue or a pink or something like that.
It's a colored egg, but it's not that color.
Okay. What color?
Gray.
A gray egg.
A gray egg, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, it's just, it makes me sick, because I got to start all over again. So what I'm going to do is, I've already interviewed Roberta Coleman on. She's got her own hatchery up in Michigan, and she's a representative for Cackle Hatchery out of Missouri.
Okay.
Have you heard of Cackle?
Oh yeah, we've ordered from Cackle.
They've been around for 90 years.
Yep.
And I've talked to them, and I haven't talked to Jeff yet, the owner, but I'm gonna be talking to him soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have him on and everything. But I'm gonna order the exhibition series, Rhode Island Reds and Barred Rocks from them, which are like your heritage purebreds,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get those. and to breed those and sell and so forth. Yeah.
So this last batch that we just bought from, we purchased from Valley Hatchery.
Mm-hmm.
I forget where they were at. Sandra found them, but we were real pleased with the quality that we got from them so far. We've only had them just, they came in Friday, so what, Saturday, Sunday, about 3 days. We've been pleased with them so far.
So they're probably shipped from somewhere cooler than it is here in Texas, and
yeah, probably so. They're probably
North Carolina that was cooler than here it is, and I wanted to get some broilers, but it's so hot here. I didn't want to have them shipped in.
Yeah, so we were talking about those Sheraton broiler pens a while ago. I've heard guys in Texas call those easy bake ovens for chickens.
Yeah.
And I've talked to guys in Texas that are doing broilers, Texas and Florida particularly. It's southern Georgia and Mississippi and Alabama. Now their broiler season is almost the direct opposite of ours. They start, in September, October, and try to be done by April because of the heat.
The heat, yeah.
Yep. So they're growing. Yeah, they're doing their broilers in the wintertime instead of in the summer like we do. Yeah. And this summer, we've lost a handful this summer, but I think very little of it's been due to heat. And the majority of the ones that we've lost have been the Cornish cross. Those chickens just get so big they kind of outgrow their cardiovascular system, and they just kind of go into heart failure and just die. But I don't think we've had much. It's been hot, but I don't think the heat's been a real factor for us this year for bird growth.
Yeah. We've had like just the other day it was 100. I thought it was 110, but it was 107, which is still bad.
Yeah.
Then
it's just hot.
Yeah. I was sitting underneath my back porch the other day, box hunting, sitting there with a 22 rifle and the fan blowing on me.
Yeah.
The fan blowing on me is just blowing hot air. I felt like I was in an induction oven.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's brutal.
It moves air. It's just hot air. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So it's like watching a debate.
Yep.
Like a hot air moving around.
A lot of hot air moving around. That's right.
But I've actually got bobwhite quail coming to me in September.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten quail?
I have zero experience with quail, either raising or eating.
Bobwhite quail is like one of the most delicious birds ever. They are absolutely delicious birds. And so I have a friend of mine that she's a vet tech at the vet that Bailey goes to. Mm-hmm. And her and her husband, they're farmers. They have chickens and everything, and they're getting quail in for their bird dog training.
Oh, nice! Yeah,
training their birds. I said, "Well, hey, get me a couple breeder pairs."
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I want them to eat. I want to raise a bobwhite to eat. The bobwhite quail to eat."
Sure.
And she goes, "Yeah, I'll get them for you." So I'm gonna get it for you. Then I'm just gonna put them in my brooder. I've got this brooder I built back in March. January.
Oh, nice.
That'll hold about 55, 60 chicks in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so nice. It's empty. It's been empty for about 2 months now. It's been so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to put anything back in it, but I'm gonna put those quail in there until I build a nest for them. But I'm not gonna build any nests until it gets cooler.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just too hot.
Yeah. So, So, hey, I really enjoyed having you come on. I really have.
Well, I really appreciate the invite. It's always a lot of fun to talk to different folks, different parts of the country, and see how things are going, and maybe learn a little something how you guys do it. And they're in Houston and manage the heat, man.
Oh, I know it's bad here. It really is. I was actually looking at where McGrady, North Carolina is, and I was like, man, you're in the middle of nowhere. It looks like.
Yeah, we really are, but it's. On the map, it looks like we are, but I'm an hour away from Winston-Salem, an hour and 15 minutes from Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the largest city in North Carolina. So it's we enjoy the ruralness of where we live. I have no neighbors that I can see from the house. We have to drive out the driveway where I'm a half a mile back off the main road, and it's nice and quiet back here. So we really enjoy it.
Either. I love it. No neighbors. Yeah. How many acres are y'all on over there?
So we're on 70 here, when we started farming, we were down in Guilford County, which is Greensboro, North Carolina, which is the third biggest city in North Carolina. We were just south of there, and we had neighbors everywhere. And so it was. We're originally from here. Where we're living now, we're originally from here.
Uh-huh.
My wife's dad lives 5 minutes down the road. My mom and dad are 45 minutes the other direction. So we were glad to get back to the country where we belonged. We were definitely country mice in the city for a while.
So did you lose a bet, or is that the only flag you could find for a tent? A while back, it looks like you had a Texas flag tent. For
oh man, let me tell you the story on that thing. So years ago, we were sort of, we would go to yard sales and flea markets, and we would buy antiques, and then we would go set up at flea markets and stuff and sell that. Mm-hmm. And so we needed a tent. So I was at a flea market one day, and these guys were selling these returns from like Walmart and that kind of thing. These return easy up tents, and they were like $30. And so I went through and I said, pick me out one that's good. And he said, here, this one. And he said, the only thing that's wrong with it is the strap that holds the canopy to the frame is torn. I'm like, perfect, I'll take it. Didn't know what I bought, got it home, set it up, son of a gun, it was the Texas flag. So that was our market. And so then we got out of that, we got into farming. We needed us a market tent, so that was the only thing we had. So we used that for, I think, the first 2 years. And then we went over to these red and white tents that we've got now. But yeah, we call it the Texas tent. That's what we call it. And so now if we're doing like an outside event here at the farm and we need a little cover, we'll throw that thing up real quick. It's nothing wrong with it. Still good shape. We still use it, man.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I got to ask him about his Texas tent. That cracked me up when I saw that.
Yeah. So I've been to, let's say I was in Houston a couple of years ago, San Antonio twice, a couple of years in a row. Then I was in Fort Worth. This group that I used to do some consulting with, we were traveling about 4 times a year, and so we were doing some meetings in Texas. And so I was at one meeting in Oklahoma City one week. I had a meeting in Dallas the following week. Sandra went with me, and so we rented a car, and our goal was to drive from Oklahoma City to Dallas Fort Worth and never get on the interstate. And we did, and that was a wonderful trip. We had a lot of fun on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Saw a lot of cool stuff.
One time Harris County had the largest population of horses in it.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah. With Houston and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where I grew up in Houston, you could drive 3 minutes and see a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People would be riding on horses to go to the convenience stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have a big problem.
They do that. They do that here in North Carolina, but they're usually drunk. They're usually hired a guy to run drunk.
Well, one of the problems we have in Harris County, and that's the thing we bring up about on the hospital district, is there's mass food deserts in Houston,
mm-hmm.
and there's no sources of vegetables for these some of these low income areas. All there is convenience stores.
Yeah,
and we're actually one of the county hospitals that we have actually has a farm on it. Where we grow vegetables, and those vegetables go to these areas around town. So I'm trying to incorporate eggs into it and chickens.
Sure, yeah. Great source of protein. Eat, portable. You can live a long time on eggs.
Oh yeah, I love them. Yeah, but that's what we've been doing, and we've got this big farm. We grow vegetables right in the middle of Houston.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that happens. So one of the other markets, one of the markets we go to, High Point, which is central part of North Carolina, it's about an hour and a half from here. They've done that there. They've got this group called Growing High Point, and they go in and they find these vacant lots, and then they approach the owner about putting raised beds on it. And usually the owners are amenable to doing that because it's sort of an improvement for their property. So they'll go in and build raised beds, and then they're growing vegetables, and then they give that away to low-income folks and go to low-income housing and give it away. And then they have some that they sell at markets that they use to generate some cash to buy more seeds and build more beds. So it's a really nice program that they've got going.
Have you ever heard of a hatchery called Hoover's?
Yes, we buy quite a bit from Hoover's. I think our turkeys out here came from Hoover's.
Well, a buddy of mine just wrote on here, I was able to cancel the private order without penalty and reordered with Hoover's.
Yeah. We order We've ordered some Cornish cross from Hoover's this year. We've ordered our turkeys from Hoover's. We use Hoover. We use Freedom Ranger Hatchery. I think they're in Ohio or Pennsylvania for a lot of our meat birds. We order some stuff from Murray McMurray from time to time. And then we've ordered from Cackle. So we kind of spread the love around a little bit.
That's cool. I'm actually messaging him right now that I'm speaking to you.
Oh, cool.
And that you ordered from Hoover.
Yeah.
Hoover's. Huh. That's really something. Yeah, this man's a retired doctor.
Okay.
That has a huge hatchery up in Plainville, Texas, which is just a little north of me, more in the woods. Yep. That's really neat. So do y'all ever have does Sandra ever do tape any of the markets she goes to, like at the college or anything, or you just do the videotaping?
Yeah, every once in a while I'll send a camera with her and she'll actually get it out and use it. But lots of times I send the camera with her and she's like, "Oh, I forgot," or "I didn't want to," or "didn't have time," or whatever. But yeah, sometimes she'll do a little video, but it's not very often.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like you were more the person in front of the camera all the time.
Yeah, she, folks love to see her on the videos, and folks are always asking about her. And here recently she's gotten into a little bit more of it, but lots of times, I'll say, "Hey, I'm going to go do a video. You want to come be in it?" "No, I've got this thing I'm doing, or I'm working on this thing," or "You go on, I'll come out later," and she never shows and that sort of thing. So it's, and then whenever she does show up, she's getting hurt. She's riding on pigs or something, something crazy. So she's really good for views. I mean, she helps get the clip rate up.
I freeze framed that video to take pictures of it that I was going to use on the coffee, but I thought, no, I better not.
Oh, it would have been fine. They're
great video. They're great photos, But, then I thought, well, maybe I'll do Whistle Britches at Brew.
Yeah. Yeah, people think so I get comments on that. People think I'm being demeaning. I'm not. I mean, it's just, it's a term of endearment, Whistle Britches out there.
Yeah. So that's the thing I like about y'all. There's some other ones I used to watch that they're real popular, but they're more into the freebies,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, what toy are you going to show this weekend?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of annoying. Yeah. And then they do really stupid stuff, and you're like, oh, you got to be kidding me,
Yeah, I was talking to another guy he's a pretty sizable YouTuber. He's a guy that I follow. He's very genuine. We've become good friends. He's in Indiana. And he because of his size, and some of the things that he does, he knows some of these guys that are big. I mean, 600, 700, 800,000 subscribers and that sort of thing. And he said, some of those guys, they really don't do what they portray that they do. That their farm or their homestead or whatever it is really more of a set. It's more of a backdrop. It's more of fodder to make content. Mm-hmm. And we've really tried our best to stay really true to we farm first, and then we video what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So we try to be really genuine in what we're doing, and what we show is really what's happening here. I mean, if you come out here tomorrow and want to hang out, we're going to be moving chicken tractors, we're going to be feeding pigs, we're going to be moving cows and taking care of the farm. And if we drag out a video camera and film some of it, that happens along the way. But that's not our primary purpose. That's not what we do. At the forefront, we're farmers first.
Yeah, I bought one of those harnesses for my little GoPro.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way I just can do anything.
Yeah.
And I'll stop and do a quick video with my cell phone. If I'm sitting down taking a break with the chickens, I'll do that all the time, but I just, it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
Look at you yawning over there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough to film and do what you're doing. It really does take twice as long. Because you got to set up a camera, then you got to do the thing, then you got to move the camera to a new angle and do the thing, and it takes extra time to do. And quite frankly, I may go 5, 6, even a week without filming, and it's because I got stuff to do, and just taking time out to drag out a camera and capture the footage, and then after that, I got to come in here at night offload that footage, and then it's a couple hours editing that video and getting it up. It's another job. It really is. It's another job.
What software do you use for editing?
So I use iMovie. I've got a Mac, and I just use iMovie is just the native software that's on there. It comes with it, and that's what I use. It's free and it works. It's got a lot of features, and so that's that's what we use.
Yeah. Oh. Well, my buddy Dan just wrote back. He's ordered from Hoover's quite a few times.
Yeah, they're good quality. Yeah, they're good quality. Service is great. I think they give you the choice. They'll either replace the bird or refund if you have lost within. Man, I think they're either 3 or 7 days.
Wow.
So the service from Hoover's is really good. That's why we continue to order from them.
Huh. In fact, like I lost a dozen birds the first night from privets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're in Iowa. Yeah. Huh. I just hate ordering this time of year with the heat in Texas.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, but he did. He just ordered some from them. He's ordered himself some Cornish cross hens and so forth. All right, man. Well, we thank you for coming on. We really do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the invite. And if folks are interested in learning more about us, we've got a website, Sheraton Park Farms with an S. SheratonParkFarms.com, and then we're on all the regular social media places that folks would expect us to be, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And invite folks to come over and check us out. And
I was going to ask you about Patreon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got a membership on that a long time ago, but it's like it never blew up or anything. But you got a lot of followers on that too?
I've got, what do I have on Patreon? I think I've got, let me look. I can tell you real quick. Audience, what we got here? I've got about 65 followers over there on Patreon right now.
65 followers?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
65 or 65,000?
65.
Okay. All right.
65. Yeah, 65.
How long you been on there?
I started that probably December, January. In the first of the year, somewhere in that neighborhood, I think. And we use that. Man, I get so many emails and comments and text messages and phone calls. Because we have a business. It's not hard to find us. It's not hard to get in touch with us. And it's just impossible to answer all the questions that we get. So what we've done is we've created that Patreon account over there. Folks go over, join that. Send me a message through that. I guarantee you I will answer your question over there. So we use that kind of as a filter. And then we'll post our YouTube videos over there, usually a couple hours before they go live on YouTube. So folks get to watch them before everybody else. There's no ads over there. And then we've also got some freebies sometimes that we pass out over there. I've got a set of brooder plans. I give those to folks that join us on Patreon. We've got a private Facebook
that
group.
One on Patreon, you got to pay.
Yeah. So we've got, so you can set that up different ways. You can have different tiers. I've just got one tier. It's $5 a month. And so it's pretty cheap, and I contribute to some other folks' Patreon pages. I've got one that's $15 a month, but it's a cause that I really believe in. It's something that we've helped kind of manage too. So, and then there's it's just another way to kind of get some content, some exclusive content to folks, and add some value for them.
So real quick now, Patreon, people can get away with showing some bloody photos on Patreon more so than YouTube, right?
Yeah, so we don't really post anything controversial. But now I have posted a couple of videos over there, the actual dispatch of a chicken whenever we're doing the processing. I can't show that on YouTube. I can't show the part of it, but I do show that over on Patreon. And then we've also done another video, which is a very detailed how-to video on castration of male piglets. I can't show that on YouTube. So we do show that over there on Patreon, and we've sold that video, to folks that are interested in seeing that for educational purposes.
The reason I ask you that is because the Lone Star Chicken Care bunch, Howard has and Marissa does, and they go out and repair people's chickens left and right, and they photograph and they put it on a social media group on Facebook, and they're constantly getting knocked off and everything because of the photos. Yeah. And they're like, they want to do a YouTube channel, but I told myself, you can't post that stuff on YouTube. Yeah. But they could post it on Patreon, and at the same time, gain money for their organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that would be that would be a great avenue to do that. Folks that are
yeah.
interested in contributing to the cause can, and you can set it up. You can do $1 a month, $5 a month, $500 a month. I mean, you can do it a number of different ways, and then you don't have as much. There's not as much. So I really hate to call it censorship, because I understand why YouTube does it in some instances, but
Yeah.
you can be a little more free with what you're showing over there, because it is behind a paywall.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll have to bring that. So their logo I just posted up for people if they're wondering about Lone Star Chicken Care. It's a nonprofit here in the Woodlands, Harris County, Montgomery County, Waller County area, Fort Bend County, where they will go out and repair people's poultry for free. I mean, I saw a recent photos of an emu whose neck was flayed open by a goose.
Oh, man.
And it was not a full-size emu. It was only about maybe 3 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole neck of it was just flayed wide open by another bird.
Yeah.
And that Howard and this gal, Chris, that's an Army veteran, she went over there with Howard and assisted him on it. Mm-hmm. And Howard stitched it back up, and they put a dressing on it and some white material of some sort to protect it better. And they got it all fixed up, and it's doing just fine.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, they would have loved to have shown that, but they can't.
That'd have been real interesting. Very interesting to see how they cared for that, without a doubt.
Yeah, because a lot of people were wanting how to know how to do shots in the chest of a chicken and all that other stuff, and Howard wants to teach them because they stay so busy.
Yeah.
Howard works 12 hours a day for nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Rumble may be another platform. I've not done anything on Rumble, but I don't think there's as much as many restrictions over there on that kind of thing either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, man. That helps me out a lot, and I'm gonna pass it on to Howard and Marissa.
Yeah, it sounds like that. Yeah, it sounds like that may be a good platform for them to be able to get their message out.
Yeah. So once again, thanks for coming on. I'll be promoting on all this week that you're coming on Friday, and like I said, Friday I got to take Bailey in to be spayed, and that's going to be a day I don't want to have a podcast because I have anxiety when I'm not around her, and she has anxiety when she's not around me.
Yeah, yeah.
Service dog is she helps me out physically and she helps me out emotionally and everything, but she's just my second hand. I mean, right now she's on the floor next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all need to have a day off where you can just kind of focus on what needs to be done and take care of each other.
And actually, I'm going out. I'm going to go to a friend's house that he's retired law enforcement, and he's deals with PTSD. I think we're going to go out and shoot some guns.
Cool. Yeah. Nothing like flinging a little lead down the range.
That's right.
Stress relief.
That's right. So I'll get this package sent out to y'all this week.
Okay.
And y'all enjoy that. And once again, thanks for coming on, Chuck. I really enjoyed this. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and stay in touch with us. Interesting stuff you got going on there.
All right. Thanks again. And if y'all ever want to come on again, you're welcome to come on anytime you want. Okay. So did y'all have a live show this past Sunday?
I did not. No,
okay.
We did not. I forget what was going on Sunday. What was going on? Something was happening Sunday. That was yesterday. Heck, I forgot what I done yesterday. Something was going on.
No. But yeah, that was really enjoyable. That was a really good show. Yeah. So,
yeah. I used to do those pretty regular, and then I kind of stopped when we moved to this farm because I didn't have good internet service. Now we're back on Starlink, so we've got good service, so I can do them a little bit. So we may try to be a little more frequent with those. I enjoy doing them. It's good interaction with a lot of viewers. Questions, it makes for a really good time.
It really does. It does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Shoot, before I get off, I got to say one more thing. Hey, y'all, don't forget, we're going to be in Ellis County Poultry Show September the 9th. Ellis County Poultry Trade Day shows in Waxahachie, Texas. We'll be out there that Saturday. Come on out. That's going to be a huge event. I'm looking forward to that. And then we have our own show coming up. And that's going to be October 21st. That'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. Boy, that's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got this one coming up, Poultry Show and Sale and Farmers Market. So you can come out there and show your chickens. We're going to have 6 categories. We're going to have Champion Open, Champion Reserve, Junior Open, Junior Reserve, People's Choice, and Most Unique. Okay, and I'll probably put Brittany, my ugly chicken, in that Most Unique competition. So hey, be prepared to have a more unique chicken than Brittany, because she is a freaky little bird. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. I got a lot of vendors already working on signing up for it. I'm going to be posting up in some other places. I just had to get some things out of the way. This Friday, Bailey's going to be spayed. And as soon as I get that out of the way, I can do some more stuff. I got to get coffees filled this week and shipped out to different stores and so forth around East Texas. Got to get that knocked out. It's going to be a busy week for me. So this show's coming on. If you're watching it Friday, it was pre-recorded. I'm sorry that it was, but it's the only thing I could do. It's just that busy of a week. So once again, God, it was great having Chuck on. I was looking forward to having him on. I was hoping to have his wife Sandra on as well. She's a very funny woman. And oh, where's this darn thing at? I keep looking for this to make this disappear, and I can't make it disappear. There we go. Okay. And let me go back over to captions here, and I just want to put this up here. Once again, if you want to support me, go to Bailey'sBrewCoffee.com. Use the discount code BOTCAST and save 10% on your order. I greatly appreciate it. And get yourself some of our coffee. I made up a couple blends for Chuck and his wife. I'm going to be shipping them out this week. Here it is right here. Might be able to see a little bit better. Sheraton Park Farms. And this one's the Saunders Shuffle. Drunk Hog Blend. If you go back and look at the videos of Sandra and the episode of her sow pigs, the sow pig got up underneath her and carried her for a little ways, kind of looked like she was riding a wild pig. So I created this blend for her. You can see on the bottom there, it says, I can't even read it. Proud member of the Professional Hog Riders Association, and has a picture of a cowboy riding on a hog. And it says PHR, not PBR, but PHR for Professional Hog Riders. So I did that one for Sandra, and I did one for Chuck. And being that they're meat producers of beef, pork, and chicken, I did one called Medium Chuck Roast, and it's MEATIUM instead of the MEDIUM. It's a medium chuck roast. And of course, it's probably looking backwards right there. So I'm going to send them a couple bags, and I don't know, maybe they'll do a giveaway, or maybe they'll just drink it all because they love coffee too. But I just did that for them. I thought it was kind of funny. And I appreciate them coming on the show. They are really great people. If you watch any YouTube channels, you gotta subscribe to their show. I'm serious. I mean, they're down to earth people. They know what they're talking about, and they do a real good job with what they do. And they're great at selling stuff, and they've got a great setup. They butcher their own chickens. Of course, they have a meat market that processes their beef and pork, but they do all their own chickens and so forth, and poultry, which is really neat. And then they sell it. And but great show. I really enjoy their show. I've discovered some of them are great, some of them aren't. So another one I like watching is Just a Few Acres and Country Few Acres. I like that one. And then Just a Few Acres with Pete and Hillary. They're up in Ithaca, New York. That's a great episode as well. But hey, I actually got to go outside and make sure my chickens are locked up for the night. So hey, it's already dark 30. It's 9 o'clock. Hey, it's not Friday morning where I normally have the show on. It's going to be pre-recorded, like I said. But once again, thanks for coming on again, Chuck. And y'all have a great weekend, which will be next weekend. September 1st is coming on. All right, bye-bye. Click and like and subscribe. Thank you very much.